Hi there, and welcome to Apple Sheep Therapy, your go-to source for whenever those new iPhone 8 rumors are driving you crazy. The important thing to remember with rumors coming out on a phone that is yet to be released in about 5 months, but you won't get your hands on them until 8 months, it's important to remember all scenarios are still possible at this stage of the game. For instance, all of you are going crazy right now because someone made this mock-up. Yeah, it looks like an iPhone 5 the size of an iPhone 7 with aluminum on the back, not glass like we were all thinking, and worst of all, the fingerprint reader on the back. Now I know what you're thinking. I want to stab my eyes out right now and go resurrect Steve Jobs from the grave. Now don't do that. Very, very illegal. You'll likely get arrested, but keep in mind, as Apple Sheep, we have to accept all scenarios. We have to consider Apple has thought this through and we don't know anything. That's why we're sheep, right? So, number one thing to consider is the fact that this was a mock-up designed by a concept artist. This is not a leak at all. Please do not treat it like it is a leak, like this was some actual information that was spilled from Foxconn. Incorrect entirely. This is someone who read their rumors, decided to make a mock-up in their own version, and then posted it online. And since they're really good at 3D modeling, it looks convincing. But no, this is not official. Even the guy who designed this mock-up said it's probably not going to look like this. He doesn't believe that. He was just randomly making it, and he probably knew he would get a lot of attention about it so quickly. So the reason we're having this discussion right now. Dang, that guy was smart. Yes, we all want Touch ID on the front. That's a given. We want that on all our smartphones. But like the Galaxy S8, which is a pretty good phone, I might add so far, they didn't have the technology to embed it into the display, so they're figuring on the back is the best we can do. And honestly, after using it for a little while, I can say that's not the worst thing in the world. And if Apple did it, I'm sure I would be even more okay with it, but some are saying that's not a fingerprint reader. Some are saying that that'll be one piece of glass on the back of the device so that they can keep a mostly aluminum rear casing instead of glass on the back and have just that one little piece of glass so it can support wireless charging. You'll be able to drop it on a little pad, and that single circular piece of glass will be how it wirelessly charges while not adopting an entirely glass back, which, as I've said in the past, I really do prefer aluminum backs. I would be okay with this, but again, I am not convinced this is the official leaked model. I think this is just a hypothetical someone came up with, and we have seen some more official leaks from Foxconn, you know, on pieces of paper or in models. Those I still firmly believe are a worst case scenario for Apple if they can't figure out an efficient way of manufacturing the front-facing Touch ID. We all know that's their end goal, but they can't make them fast enough. Honestly though, if they do embed Touch ID on the back, even if the whole back is glass, I don't think that's going to hurt the overall sales. It's going to really bum us out because that's brand new technology we've never seen before. We'd like to see that implemented, of course, but at the end of the day, that new display, that new form factor, those upgraded specs, the better camera, that's really what you're going to be buying into. Just that one little problem is going to be more of an inconvenience that when you buy it makes you go, "Aw, that kind of sucks," and then you move on. So please don't act like front-facing Touch ID is the end-all for the iPhone. I know I've said things like that before, and I can honestly say I think there's going to be enough changes with the iPhone 8 to still keep people excited if they fail to embed Touch ID into the display. I don't even think the Note 8 will really kill the iPhone 8 if they figure that out before Apple does. Fingerprint readers are great. We love them. Despite its awkward placement on the Galaxy S8, I still think that's actually the best way to log into something. I've used the iris scanner a couple times and that's really inefficient. It is not the fastest or easiest way to unlock your phone. Touch ID, even though it's on the back next to that camera, that is way faster. And after using the Google Pixel, you know, your hand kind of naturally goes there. Again, it's not ideal. I'm sure if anyone could put front-facing Touch ID, they would, unless you're the Google hardware team, what the heck. But let's just acknowledge that if Apple and Samsung can't do it, really nobody can, right? They have all the money in the world, they're trying as hard as they can, so if it's possible, they will figure it out. Very high-end engineers who really know what they're doing. Let's just trust them to figure this kind of stuff out. And if it's not possible, it's just not possible, okay? I'm still very excited to see how Apple changes iOS to support an on-screen home button. You see Samsung removing the home button? That's not a huge big deal because other Android phones have already had on-screen home buttons, nav buttons in fact. So making that switch wasn't as drastic for Samsung, but with Apple, we've only had that assistive touch thing that you drag around the screen before. That's not what they're doing here. We're going to have an on-screen home button with potentially a navigation bar at the bottom with icons and options that change from app to app. I think that's going to be the most ideal functional new feature we're all going to look at and be like, wow, this is different. That and the OLED display opening up possibilities for dark mode, thinner bezels, a potentially curved display, a hidden camera and IR and iris unlock sensor. There is so much more potential with the iPhone. I think Touch ID, like I've said in the past, it will suck to have it on the back if it is true, but I think we'll get over it. And hey, we'll have something to look forward to on the iPhone 9. So to recap, I really do hope that these leaked renders are not true. But again, if they are, it's not going to be the end of the world. I still think it's going to be worth the buy. Glass on the back or aluminum on the back, I will be pumped. But I'll have to apologize to a lot of Apple sheep out there. This S8 I am liking more than I thought I would. I apologize for ever making fun of it. This is making me question my Apple sheep a little bit. No! Fight it, Drew! Fight it! Don't give in! Oh, that screen is so nice. Oh my god, I can't help it. You're so good. Review coming later. And no, it's not a rant video. My letter grade will be exceptionally high for the S8. This is your Apple sheep here, and I will see you in the next one.